3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading number 980. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, chances are that most of the people watching this video are not subscribed. So if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work and would like to help support it, you can do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. I get this strong intuitive feeling that this reading could be meant for somebody who has been tuning in to my readings lately, like the more recent ones. So only take that if it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, that's okay. That doesn't mean that this reading isn't meant for you, but it feels like extra confirmation for whoever that does resonate for. Starting with interpreting the number 980. The number 9 is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. The number 8 is about loss and strength and trusting that whatever is lost, whether it's a relationship, a job, a way of living, a way of thinking, whatever, it will be replaced. And not in a materialistic, superficial type of way, but in a way where you can keep hoping for better and for more out of the future. And the number 0 is about cycles. I'm feeling the word shifts come through, which makes sense. This number is about beginnings and endings. There could be something significant here about a snake or the Ouroboros. Usually, if you've been around, you know that once I hit like 970, 80, 90, etc., I interpret that as shifting from the previous numbers. So like going from the 970s to the 980s, that's the shift that I'm talking about. And it feels like you are shifting from learning, gaining a deeper understanding of something. It could be yourself or someone or something outside of yourself. You're moving from expanding your consciousness and your awareness to release, letting go, trusting that making decisions for your highest good and the highest good of all will pay off. I do feel that you are moving more into the energy of trust, which actually makes a lot of sense, given that I am listening to a chakra meditation for the root chakra, which is all about your sense of security and stability, foundations, and stuff like that. Yeah. I believe that it can be about how much trust and faith you have in yourself and in the world around you, and I feel like that is becoming stronger. You value yourself more and what the universe has to offer you, even if it's not exactly what you want. You could be more of a surrender state and not so resistant towards accepting things that you can't control. And I do feel that the universe, your spirit guides, want you to stay on that path, on that track. Track feels a little specific. Trains, I feel like, could be significant for somebody. Or even just public transportation in general. I know that it's a lot better in Europe than here in the United States, so take what you will from that. Is there anything else? Yeah, I'm being reminded of the word strength that I said with the number 8. You are stronger than you were before. And I'm going to keep that vague because before what? It depends what your situation is. But I do think that you are stronger now than some point in the past. And that's amazing. And I really, really genuinely love that for you. Because we need more people who, not that are strong, but actually see it and recognize it and embrace it. You know what I mean? Like, I believe we're all strong. But not seeing it can make us believe that we're weak. You know? I want to say just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's kind of reminding me of the idea of you don't see me, I don't see you. That could be a sign or a message from your spirit guides about how just because you don't see us and you ignore us doesn't mean that we don't see you and are still trying to communicate with you. Basically, another way of saying you can try to ignore us, but we're still going to show up. Especially if you are really connected to your intuition, and sometimes you might stray away from that a little bit, which it happens to everybody, and that's okay. I just think your spirit guides want you to know that they're always there no matter what state of mind you're in. Adding up these numbers, 890, by the way, might be a significant reading for you too. 9 plus 8 is 17, and 17 plus 0, still 17 of course, and 1 plus 7 is 8, which, as we've already established, is about loss and strength and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. So that's really just reinforcing everything that we've already talked about with that number. Letting go of someone or something within yourself. Recognizing your strength through having trust and faith in yourself and in the universe. I personally believe that hope is strength. I actually have a card that I made that specifically says that. So, if you're feeling weak, where's the doubt coming from? Is it about yourself? Something that you want? Your faith? How you feel about the universe? There could be an opportunity to trust yourself more and to believe in yourself more, or the universe and your spirit guides really want you to pay attention to when that opportunity is there and to really, really take advantage of it. Because I feel like it could really serve your highest good. It feels like somebody here has already moved through change, or you currently are moving through change, and it's not as hard as it used to be. And that's good, because that's a sign of progress. You're growing, you're changing, you're learning. And because of that, your intuition is becoming stronger. Where your inner voice is louder. Maybe even your spirit guides are louder. I am feeling really, really connected in this reading. Truly. I do often. But sometimes, how we all can feel about responsibilities, and sometimes we cannot be fully present, but still do our best. And that happens for me too. I'm not gonna lie when it comes to making these readings. Only because it's not the only thing that I can focus on. It's that typical thing that you hear, like when people want to make their dreams come true, they have to hold down a regular job and build a business at the same time. And so it's a lot of work. It really is. And I really hope that in the future I can connect with everyone who wants to connect with me more, whether it's through the comments or more one-on-one or whatever. I genuinely look forward to better understanding people who connect with my work and what I have to offer, because for a long time now it has been very spiritually guided. And I feel, every interaction I feel like I will have with whoever connects with my channel will also be spiritually guided. Maybe not always, but a lot of the time. and move into the cards reading, or the cards portion of this reading. I'm going to start with the Major Arcana cards from the Magical Dogs Tarot, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say Major Arcana, tarot cards have like 50-something Minor Arcana cards and like 20-something Major Arcana cards. And we're going to focus just on shuffling from those 20-something. And I don't know if you heard it, but a card did fall out on the table, and it is the Magician in reverse, which is very interesting because the Magician reflects somebody who is feeling powerless, or they don't see their power. Could be synonymous with not seeing your strength. There is power in hope. There is so much power in hope, because a lot of the times I say, if you don't hope for something or believe in something, why fight for it? You know, when you doubt yourself or something that you care about, or someone that you care about, you're working against yourself. And I mean, like, not true doubt, but like where you get frustrated and a little stubborn, and you get a little mad at the universe, and so you start punishing yourself with negative feelings, if that makes sense. It feels like for some of you, this is about the version of you from the past, or this is a version of yourself that you're trying to overcome right now. Really trying to trust yourself more, believe in yourself more, believe in your strength more, have more hope, and learn more, and ultimately have more power. Whether it's over your own life and or a difference you want to make in the world. I feel that, you know, regardless where you want to make a difference, this is somebody who is serious. And the Magician here actually does have the number 1 on it, which for me is a sign to trust yourself. So with the path that you're on, wherever you're feeling guided, trust yourself. And I did burp a little bit, so if there's a little bit of doubt that is making you wonder, am I doing the right thing? Am I following the guidance correctly? As long as you're doing your best and you have good intentions, that's all that matters. And as long as you're paying attention too. Because your spirit guides, the spirit realm, whatever you want to call it, they're always there when you need them. And I want to say, especially when you're struggling to find light in your own life, they want to be that light for you when you're struggling to find it either in your life or within yourself. I also felt the word animism come through, which is the belief about everything having a spiritual presence, whether it's a person, an animal, a table. That might be significant for somebody. I personally have been learning a lot about history. I love history, but I stumbled on this channel that I love watching. It's called Predictive History, if you're curious. And I did learn about animism. And I do believe I learned about it for a reason. I personally believe that, I guess you could say in the dawn of time, or whatever, whenever we were more cave dwellers, or partiers, depending on how you interpret history, I feel that at that time we were the closest with our faith, our soul, whatever higher power we believe in. I feel like at that time we were the closest with religion. And along the way, over hundreds of thousands of billions of years ago, maybe not, I don't know about billions, but just a lot of years ago, over a lot of years, we somehow lost our way. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Maybe you feel that too. And I do feel that we all are spiritually, especially with the support of our ancestors, to return, I guess, to, I don't know if the right word is primitive side of ourselves, I guess just say return to spirit. You know, that's a very general way to put it. I do believe in a mass spiritual awakening happening, and it seems like whoever's watching this, you are part of that. And I'm very happy to hear that. Because just so based on my own experiences, I really do believe that there is a higher power out there. I don't know a lot about who they are, where they came from, just like, you know, all of you. But I feel it and I trust it. And like I said, things have been very, very spiritually guided for me, at least for the last 5 years or so, almost 6, depending on when you're watching this, I guess. I feel like 2020 was a weird year for everybody, huh? I'm going to move on to drawing out a couple of cards from these playing cards here. Now these cards resemble more of the major arcana or the minor arcana cards. So this here is more bigger picture because it's a major arcana in these cards. We're going to get a little more detail into this bigger picture about your power, which I think could be very helpful. So I have the Jack of Clubs, which I believe says adventurous, active. What does that say? Angry, that's the reverse. So confident, adventurous, and active. But in reverse, it says impatient and angry. I believe actually this is the Knight of Wands. I'm trying to think of all of the suits. Diamonds, spades, hearts, clubs. Yeah. You know what? Even if I'm not interpreting it correctly, I'm going to take it as the the Knight of Wands, because I haven't used playing cards in a long time. But there's a lot of fire, a lot of passion, a lot of drive and ambition, and I really feel like you're being called to embrace that. And next we have the Four of Diamonds, or the Four of Pentacles. Frugal, secure. In reverse, it says greedy and possessive. These cards seem to be acknowledging the brighter side of things. Using your passion to empower you and propel you forward instead of destroy yourself and keep you stuck in the past. And, you know, I feel like this is really helping you make better decisions when it comes to your security, your stability. Your ancestors could definitely be present for this reading. I mean, I am literally about to draw a card from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle, so this is what these cards look like. Let's go ahead and get one of those cards. I do think whatever you are going through at home, at work, anything to do with your sense of stability and security, that if you're focused on that, very strong confirmation here to stay focused on that. You're on the right path. Oh, this is very, very interesting. So it says, this is respect your physical body, detox, rejuvenate, and relax. I thought this was interesting to see this card because I was feeling that it was pretty cold in my room. And I felt like it could be part of this reading. And I literally pull a card about winter. It's winter here. And that's why it's cold. So I feel that, you know, you could be feeling cold too and need to, you know, take a little more seriously when you're uncomfortable with the temperature. This feels like it's mostly about when it's too cold, but it could be when it's too hot too. It just really depends on where you're from, and there's definitely extra confirmation for anybody who resonates with, you know, maybe it's winter or something like that. Not only are you being called to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually right now, but definitely physically. It feels like your health, no matter what form it comes in, is what your ancestors and your spirit guides in general want to be your top priority. You're literally you. And taking care of yourself this detox could symbolize, it could be literal or figurative, something or someone that you are trying to remove from your life. I really feel that here. You could need to spend more time relaxing as well. I know that I need to get better at that. It's just overall taking care of yourself and putting yourself first. This is exactly what the universe, our spirit guides, our ancestors want us to do. Because we are powerful. Even on an individual level, we do have an impact on those around us, even if we don't see it. Simply because of how connected we are. I know nowadays we're all feeling very disconnected from each other, but I think that just reflects how much we are connected. Because we all are feeling this loneliness, that's for sure. And we are even connected in that way, just that collective experience, which I think is interesting. We feel very disconnected, and because of that, we're connected. Is there anything else? Yeah, this is just confirmation for somebody. It really feels like that you are on the right path, and it's important that you stay focused and you keep trusting yourself and believing in yourself, and keep trusting the universe and believing in it. And I mean, I personally believe, as I've said in a reading before, that I believe that the universe is always geared toward the light and truth. Even if it was really ugly on our way to get there, through all this change, through millions and whatever, how many years, I do believe that ultimately the outcome is better than we think, or than we're afraid of.